Hello, this is Sophie. I receive many questions asking me which supplies I use for face painting, so I decided to make a short video to show you what are my favorite products and to help those of you who want to try face painting with some of the things I learned over the years. I will also show you a basic kit that I recommend for beginners, and you will find in the description box under this video a list of trusted online face painting shops. I'm actually going to start by telling you what you should not use, and that is acrylic paint. This can be found in many different shapes and forms in hobby stores. This should never ever be put on a child's face. It is not appropriate. The other thing you should not really be using is oil-based makeup. This is okay for adults but not for children. However, what you can and should be using if you want to do some face painting is water-based makeup. This type of makeup is anti-allergic and safe for the use on children's faces, but please make sure that you check the type of makeup before using it and if it was approved by the regulations in your respective country. Water-based makeup is gentle on the skin and can easily be removed with mild soap or wet wipes. Pressed powders can also be used for face painting, although they are not as easy to apply as water makeup, but they can be used for special effects or to create shadows. I also sometimes use regular eyeshadows, but actually not very often. When you start looking at face paints, you will notice that each brand has a different way of packaging it. Some boxes are larger, some smaller, some wider. But what actually really matters is how much product is in this packaging, and you can find that information in the back. Usually it is labeled in grams, and you can then compare the prices and you will see there are very big differences in prices between different brands. If you're just starting to face paint, or if you're not painting that often, I do recommend to buy a small palette with all the basic colors. This is a lot cheaper than buying each color individually. However, the one color that you will need to buy a little bit more of is the white, because in face painting you do use a lot of this color. What I also really like to use are the small split cakes, or also called one-stroke cakes. These are applied with a brush. They also exist in a larger format to apply with a sponge. I show you in another video how to make them yourself and use them. If you're interested, just click on the link appearing on the screen right now. Most colors in face painting are available in 3 different versions. The first one is matte or regular, which is the most common. The second version is metallic, but some brands call it shimmer or pearl. These are really great for bases. And some brands also do offer some neon colors, but please check first because some of these colors are not approved for application on the skin. I will now show you my very favorite face painting brands, and these are Tag, Diamond Effects, Wolf Effects, and Chameleon. Now all 4 of these brands are kind of similar. They are all 4 wonderful for line work and have an excellent coverage. But I also really love Mehron Paradise, Superstar, Cryolan, and Snazaroo. Now these 4 brands are more creamy in consistency, so they are better for the base and not so much for the line work with a brush. However, they are perfect to achieve some really good blending. To apply the paint on the face, you will need sponges, and there are 2 different kinds. This is the high density sponge. You can recognize it because the pores are smaller. It is also softer. I personally don't use it very much, only with split cakes, because I prefer this kind here. This is the antibacterial sponge. It is firmer. The pores are also larger. I have the feeling I get a better control over where I put the paint with this one. I split my sponges in half so that I have a round surface for blending and sharp edges to trace the limit of the surface I want to cover. The one thing you will need to look for are brushes with synthetic hair, no animal hair. This is important because synthetic hair is usually more robust and it is also firmer, which is exactly what you need for face painting. What you need to do is just bend the hair back and forth and see if it comes back in shape. It needs to be firm to the touch, and don't hesitate to buy quality. It's better to have just a couple of brushes of quality than a lot of brushes of low quality that you will need to throw away after 6 months. The most important face painting brush is the round brush. It's actually called round brush, but for face painting you will need to look for a round brush with a very sharp point, as you see here. This is very important because with this brush you can do some teardrops, you can do some swirls, you can do some dots, you can do all kinds of things. Another good brush to have, but not as essential as the round brush, is the Filbert brush. It is rounded at the tip. This is a large version, this is a smaller version. These are quite good to do some flower petals or to cover some larger areas on the face. Another type of brush I like to use are the flat square brush, especially the 3/4 inches, which is quite good to use in combination with the small split cakes. And you can find them in all different sizes. I will now show you my favorite brushes and brands. The one I use the most is the Loew-Cornell Gold Grip number 3. It's a round brush and I have several of them. For split cakes, I use this one here, the Loew-Cornell 3/4 inches Comfort Grip. I also like this one. This is the Paradise Chisel brush. And this is also a good one. It's a Marguerite Round number 6. If you live in a country where Loew-Cornell brushes are hard to find, I highly recommend the Da Vinci brushes, especially the Fit for Hobby and School range and the Nova brushes. Both series are really working well for face painting. For face painting, it's very important to buy cosmetic glitter or polyester glitter. Make sure you don't use any glitter that has glass in it for obvious reasons. My favorite brands of glitter are from Silly Farm, from Eulenspiegel, Jester, and from Y-Body. I keep the colors of glitter that I use the most in this practical little box that I got from Y-Body. The good thing about it is that each compartment opens individually so that glitter is not flying everywhere on my face painting table. It's also possible to buy glitter in small poofer bottles if you want to have glitter over a larger surface on the face, and these come also in different sizes. The thing with face painting products is that it's very tempting at the beginning to go really crazy and buy lots and lots of products and at the end not use really that many of them. That's why I wanted to show you here what are the things that you would need for a basic kit. It's always a good idea to start with a small palette with the basic colors and add a couple of colors that might be missing, like pink and purple for the girly faces. You can also buy a little bit more white. As far as the brushes are concerned, I would buy 2 small round brushes, number 3, and maybe one a little bit larger, like a number 4 or a number 6. You can also get a medium-sized Filbert brush. And if you want to experiment with split cakes, you can get one of those 3/4 inches flat brushes because these are just the perfect sizes for the split cakes. You can go ahead and buy a split cake so that you can try and see if this is something that you like. If you want to add a large split cake, then go ahead and buy a rainbow one because the girls really love it. As far as glitter is concerned, I would really only get the iridescent color. This is perfect because it just goes really well over any color of face paints. You will also need 2 or 3 antibacterial sponges, and you can also get one high density sponge, but only if you're buying a large split cake. You then just need to add a couple of plastic glasses for water. I have two because I use one for white and another one for the other colors of paint. And some wet wipes, and that's it. This is your basic kit. You really don't need more at the beginning to paint lots of wonderful faces. I hope that you found this video useful. If you'd like, you can watch part 2 where I explain to you how to use all these wonderful products. Thank you very much for watching and have a great time face painting.